This year's been shit. All right. So, if you guys haven't heard, this year's been shit. Let's just get through this week's content. There was no pay-per-view this week, thank God. Otherwise, I would have to watch a fucking 7th show this week. Anyway, let's just get on with the results. Starting with Raw, there were a few matches on Raw that I didn't see because I watched it as soon as it got on Hulu. Meaning there were some segments that I probably missed. But I went on cagematch.com to see what I missed and to see what happened. So, first we got Drew McIntyre cutting a promo with Dolph Ziggler interrupting the promo and declaring himself that he will be challenging McIntyre Extreme Rules, and it's set. They're off to the races. Extreme Rules, WWE title online, McIntyre, Ziggler. Then Nia Jax cut a promo in the middle of the ring while sitting down. Charlotte Flair interrupted and attacked Nia. Then Charlotte was holding her arm at the end of the segment like she had heard it. Yes, Charlotte Flair hurt. Imagine that on your newscast. Then the Street Profits cut a promo. The Viking Raiders interrupted. And then Zelina Vega had evil intentions in her eyes. Then we got into a Raw Tag Team title match as the Street Profits defeated the Viking Raiders. And the finale to their story, Street Profits beat the Viking Raiders, 2.5-star match. Then after the match, it should have been longer. With all the build this match had, it should have been longer. If I'm being completely honest with you. And then Andrade and Angel Garza attacked the Street Profits after the match. The Viking Raiders saved the Street Profits. Then we had a Seth Rollins backstage promo. Then Akira Tozawa won the 24/7 title. I didn't see that part. Akira Tozawa won the 24/7 belt from R-Truth. Then the Raw Women's title was online as Asuka defeated Charlotte Flair. Finally did. And in a 2.5-star match again, a match that could have been longer because these two work really well together. Then Nia Jax had an interview after the match. Charlotte tapped out to Asuka. Edge cut a promo, brilliant promo. Then Orton had an interview. Then I did not see the Natalya Liv Morgan match, but Natalya won, but Lana was at Natalya's side because Lana and Lashley are going through a divorce. Charlotte Flair interrupted. Now, MVP and Lashley interfered during to help Akira win the 24/7 belt. Then Nia Jax attacked Charlotte Flair. And then Big Show had an interview, and then Ric Flair was ready to declare Orton the best wrestler and greatest wrestler ever. Big Show interrupted and challenged Orton. Because that's what we need, a Big Show versus Randy Orton match in the year of 2020. Totally what we need this year for wrestling. Where's the remote? Sorry, forgot to mute my TV. I'm only using it for lighting. Then the women's tag titles were online as Bayley and Sasha Banks retained against the Iconics in a 1.25 star match. Then Bayley and Sasha cut a promo. Sasha challenged Asuka for the Raw Women's title at Extreme Rules, meaning Asuka, of course, interrupted, accepted, and Bayley and Sasha attacked her. Then there was another match between Apollo Crews and Shelton Benjamin that I didn't see. Apollo Crews picked up the win. Then Rey Mysterio had a promo, and Dominic cut a promo where Seth Rollins interrupted, and Alice Black and Humberto attacked Murphy and Theory to help Rey Mysterio and Dominic. I'm drinking water as I do this because my voice hurts a bit. So that's Raw. Not enough from Raw this week. Because again, I didn't see much of it. Because I had cable box problems. Next up, Impact Wrestling. Now, if you know last week, then you know that Dave Christ. Well, here's how I'll tell you guys later. So Tasha Steelz defeated Nevaeh in a 1-star match. Deonna Purrazzo had an interview. Alicia Edwards interrupted. Johnny Swinger and Rich Swann had a backstage segment. The North had a backstage segment. Ken Shamrock interrupted and challenged Ethan Page to a match, but Josh Alexander was the one that accepted. So later on, we would get Ken Shamrock versus Josh Alexander. Then Moose and Crazy Steve had a backstage segment where next week it's confirmed that Crazy Steve versus Moose for the TNA heavyweight title. Anyway, I want to point out that Crazy Steve was supposed to have a 6-man tag match, teaming up with 3 guys against Jake, Chris, RVD, and Joseph P. Ryan. We'll get into that in a bit on why that match didn't happen. A couple matches didn't happen. Then we had Deonna Purrazzo defeated Alicia Edwards in a 1.5 star match. Deonna Purrazzo, Jordan Grace confronted Deonna Purrazzo. Then we had Johnny Swinger and Suicide in the backstage segment. Johnny Swinger Hernandez in the backstage segment. Johnny Swinger's at this point is just trying to recruit people. Taya Valkyrie also showed up in that backstage segment. Johnny Swinger's trying to recruit people to join him and Chris Bay in a 6-man tag match later on in the night. The North attacked Ken Shamrock, meaning the Josh Alexander Ken Shamrock match didn't happen. Taya Valkyrie defeated Susie in a 2-star match. Then Taya Valkyrie would then go on to bully Susie after the match, and Kylie Ray attacked Taya. Madman Fulton and Ace Austin had an interview. Chris Bay, Johnny Swinger, and Rohit Raju was the mystery partner for Johnny Swinger and Chris Bay. Would go on to defeat the Deaners and Willie Mack. And in a 2.25 star match, Reno Scum confronted D'Lo Brown. D'Lo Brown had an Aces and Ace jacket on. Then followed by TJP confronted Reno Scum. Then the main event, Madman Fulton defeated Eddie Edwards in a 3-star match, which I expected Eddie Edwards to win. I did not expect Madman Fulton to win, but now we're getting this monster. Now on to AEW Dark. Brian Cage defeated Robert Anthony in a 0.5 star match. SCU defeated David Ali and Musa in a 1.25 star match. Sean Spears defeated Pineapple Pete in a 2-star match. Lance Archer defeated Griff Garrison in a 1-star squash. Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss defeated Alex Reynolds and John Silver in a 2.75 star match. Mel defeated Kylan King in a 1.75 star match. Scorpio Sky defeated Lee Johnson in a 2-star match. Jurassic Express defeated Luther, Max Caster, and Serpentico in a 2-star match. And Orange Cassidy defeated Peter Avalon in a 2-star match. I can't recall if Brandon Cutler had a match because I didn't see. I don't remember Brandon Cutler having a match on Dark. Did he have a match on Dark? Cage match. There we go. Did Brandon Cutler have a match on Dark this past week? I'm checking right now. No, he did not have a match. On to NXT. Cameron Grimes attacked Damian Priest an hour before the show started. Cameron Grimes then cut a promo, but then Damian Priest still walked out for a match. It's a 2-star match. Cameron Grimes picked up the win because Damian Priest was hurt. Rhea Ripley had an interview that was interrupted by Robert Stone. Rhea attacked Robert, then Aaliyah, and threw him in a dumpster. Rhea, and then Aaliyah, who's now Robert Stone's new signee, slapped Rhea, and leading to that match later on the night. Then Timothy Thatcher would teach lessons. Santos Escobar defeated Jake Atlas in a 2.75-star match. Then Undisputed Therapy, which, here's a shot. Kyle O'Reilly was the therapist. And now, I don't want to say I didn't see this coming, because I didn't see this coming. But to be honest, here's the thing. Like, oh, you didn't know it was Kyle O'Reilly? You're an idiot. Well, here's the thing. Kyle O'Reilly his look really changed over quarantine. So he grew out his fucking beard. He grew out his hair. Kyle O'Reilly looks different. So when he was the therapist, it was like, oh shit, that's what he looks like now? Roderick Strong then conquered the trunk because for weeks he was scared of going into a trunk because of Dexter Lumis. Then Malcolm Bivens and Indus Sher had an interview. Karen Cross had a destructive video package. Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez defeated Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter in a 1.25-star match. Karrion Kross defeated Bronson Reed in a 1-star match. Adam Cole had an interview. Mercedes Martinez is coming soon. Rhea Ripley defeated Aaliyah in a 0.75-star match. Dexter Lumis defeated Roderick Strong via countout in a 0.25-star match, with some comedy, as Roderick Strong did not like going into the ring. And then Dexter Lumis attempted to choke out Bobby Fish. Next week is confirmed that Rhea Ripley will take on both Aaliyah and Robert Stone. Not only that, but we have a 4-way for the elimination match to declare the number 1 contender to the NXT Women's title, as it will be Candice LeRae, Mia Yim, Dakota Kai, Tegan Nox. I think Dakota Kai should win it. Then we have Io Shirai versus Sasha Banks in a 1-on-1 dream match. But Bayley's going to be in Sasha's corner, meaning that this dream match will come into bullshit. Dexter Lumis and Roderick Strong go 1-on-1 again, this time in a strap match. And Tim Thatcher is set to take on Oney Lorcan. Next up, the North American title was next. championship was on the line in a triple threat. The winner would face off against Adam Cole in 2 weeks' time. Keith Lee would successfully retain against Finn Balor and Johnny Gargano in a 3.5-star match. Great match. And then next week, the Great American Bash returns to WWE programming, but in the NXT format, because NXT likes taking WCW pay-per-view names. And now I want to talk about this because people were upset that WWE's taking the name of the Great American Bash, but really AEW should, but AEW does not own the copyright to the Great American Bash name. WWE does. They own the rights to many copyright for the WWE banner. So WWE owns some, like, AEW owns the copyright to the Bash at the Beach copyright to use that name. WWE has the rights to use all the others, like Starrcade. They have the rights to use all this other shit. WWE has the right to use it. Not only that, but apparently AEW has the right to use the name of an ECW pay-per-view, Blood and Guts, which was an ECW show, which makes no sense. Cody isn't an ECW guy. He's more of a WCW guy, but what the hell? They almost used it, and then it blew up in their face when many wrestlers were quarantined. Next up, we had next up is AEW Dynamite results. We had a lumberjack match. Wardlow defeated Luchasaurus in a 3-star match. Then a big brawl. Then we had Technique by Taz. Britt Baker's in a plexiglass shield to protect her from all harm. Penelope Ford slapped Hikaru Shida before Hikaru Shida killed Red Velvet in seconds, 0 stars. And then attacked Penelope Ford. Then she decked Kip Sabian, breaking his sunglasses, which I thought was funny. Then Cody and Jake Hager had a press conference where Jake Hager's wife splashed water in Cody's face. Then Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss had a video package, and Colt Cabana and Brody Lee defeated Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss in a 2.75-star match. Then Lance Archer murdered Janela and Sonny Kiss. FTR defeated SCU in a 3.25-star match. FTR then cut a promo. Butcher and the Blade interrupted. The Lucha Bros returned. Yes, Pentagon's back. Then a brawl. Then the Young Bucks saved FTR from the brawl. Or they saved FTR. Then it's confirmed that Fyter Fest will be FTR and the Young Bucks versus Lucha Bros and Butcher and the Blade. We know who's winning that match. The Bucks and FTR are obviously winning. Best Friends and Omega versus the Omega and Page video package happened. Brian Cage defeated John Cruz in a 0.25-star match. It was just a murder. Colt Cabana and Brody Lee had a backstage segment. Big Swole dumps some garbage on Britt Baker's head because she was in a plexiglass shield. Matt Hardy defeated Santana in a 3-star match. This was supposed to be Sammy Guevara. We'll get into that in a bit. Ortiz attacked Matt Hardy after the match, but then Private Party saved Matt. It was Damascus that fought Santana. Orange Cassidy and Chris Jericho went face-to-face, which ended in a brawl, and Orange Cassidy standing tall at the end of the show. That match will happen at night 2 of Fyter Fest. Then we have SmackDown where we had the celebration of The Undertaker. Get into that in a bit. We had a replay of the Boneyard match between Taker and Styles. Not much happened on SmackDown because it was just a replay of what happened at Mania. Then King Corbin cut a promo. Jeff Hardy attacked Corbin. Jeff Hardy had an interview where he challenged Corbin to a match in the main event. Nikki Cross defeated Alexa Bliss. A lot of matches didn't happen that were advertised. Nikki Cross defeated Alexa Bliss, Dana Brooke, and Lacey Evans in a 2-star match to become number 1 contender to the SmackDown Women's Championship. I hope Nikki Cross wins it. Nikki Cross deserves it. Lucha House Party and the New Day defeated Cesaro, Morrison, Miz, and Nakamura in a 2.5-star match. Michael Cole, now during the match, Michael Cole accidentally called John Morrison Johnny Dildo instead of Johnny Drip Drip. I want to point that out. Then King Corbin had an interview where he described him fighting Jeff or something. Braun Strowman cut a promo where he challenged Bray Wyatt, the Eater of Worlds Bray Wyatt, to a Wyatt family swamp match, which, if I can go on the Wikipedia for Extreme Rules, I do not think the Universal title will be on the line. Extreme Rules 2020. I have a feeling that the title is not on the line. The subname is the Extreme Rules, the Horror Show. That's the full title. Yeah, it's not for the title. It's just a Wyatt swamp fight. That's all it is. Then Jeff Hardy defeated King Corbin in a 2-star match, and Corbin attacked Jeff after the match, but then the New Day helped Jeff out. Matt Riddle attacked Corbin. Strowman attacked Corbin. Then Jeff Hardy got on one knee and did the Taker taunt. Now on to our weekly awards. Pop of the week going to The Undertaker. We'll get to that in a bit. Joey Ryan gets Heat of the Week. We'll get to that in a bit. Wardlow Yeet of the Week. Get Wardlow yeeting Marco Stunt into a bunch of people. Savage of the Week, Mrs. Hager for splashing water in Cody's face. Jobber of the Week, John Cruz for getting murdered by Brian Cage. Promo of the Week going to Edge. Match of the Week going to the North American title match, a 3.5-star match. Rest of the Week going to The Undertaker, even though he didn't wrestle. Bump of the Week going to Marco Stunt. Sell of the Week going to Monsters Force selling a right hand. Now on to our news. First up, the thumbnail, you see The Undertaker's there. The Undertaker has officially retired from professional wrestling. Yes, you heard that right. The Undertaker is retired. He retired on Sunday and then The Undertaker is done. Now what will he do next? Only time will tell what will happen next for The Undertaker. Why does the Wikipedia say he's not retired? You're retired, damn it. The Undertaker retired. Long live the dead man. Thank you, Taker, for everything you've done in the wrestling business. You really paved the way for other wrestlers. Thank you. Next up, the reason why Joey Ryan has the Heat of the Week. Joey Ryan deletes social media amid sexual assault allegations. Now, a bunch of wrestlers have gotten shit for sexual assault allegations. We'll get into Sammy Guevara, Brock Lesnar, and the others in a bit. But Joey Ryan was the one who came out and apologized for the accusations, still got more accusations on him. And sucks too, because with wrestlers, you look up to them. You don't want them to be all, hey, this happened, so I'm going to do this. Sometimes people aren't what you seem. Same here with Sammy Guevara. As audio from an old podcast Sammy was on a few years ago, leaked audio of when Sammy Guevara first saw Sasha, he wanted to rape her, which caused him a lot of backlash, and then AEW responded by suspending Guevara. And then earlier, like a few days ago, like a day or two ago, like some came out saying that Sammy Guevara saved this guy's daughter from depression which led Cody to say that Guevara will return to AEW. They aren't going to fire him. So expect Sammy Guevara to return. Also, by the way, Sasha Banks even responded to those allegations on Sammy and actually spoke to Sammy about the subject. Sasha said that Sammy didn't deserve it. Sasha even put out a tweet about it, saying that it's not right to use that language type of wording. She told Guevara this. Guevara understood. Now Guevara is going for intense treatment, and we expect to see him back soon. A reason why the Joey Ryan match didn't happen is because Joey Ryan and Dave Christ, the brother of Jake Christ, have been fired from Impact Wrestling as Michael Elgin had been suspended. Now, because of the sexual assault allegations, these guys were in the way of the sexual assault allegations. I told you about Joey Ryan. Dave Christ I didn't even know about. Michael Elgin, his story gets a lot worse, as after being so-called suspended, he was released from his Impact Wrestling contract. Impact put out a statement saying that Michael Elgin will no longer appear on their programming. It sucks because Michael Elgin is such a talented wrestler. He fought Omega. He fought all these guys. He fought in Japan. He fought a bunch of top guys. And then only to get it all taken away after a sexual assault allegation. He didn't even win a title in Impact. He was supposed to win it from Tessa, I believe, at Rebellion, but we'll get into that in a bit. Michael Elgin was released not because of the assault allegations. He was still suspended for those, but he had been released because of a taping that of Impact. He got in a physical altercation with Sammy Callahan, who's very high in Impact. So that's that. Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode have been traded to Raw, and Dolph saying that Raw got the better end of the stick when it came to the trade. No, SmackDown got AJ Styles, so SmackDown won. So you got AJ Styles for SmackDown. The SmackDown trades with both Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. Next up, more accusations on this Speak Out movie. Terry Runnels accuses Brock Lesnar of sexual harassment. Now, let's just be honest. Nothing's going to happen to Brock. Nothing's going to happen to Brock. It's Brock Lesnar. What do you expect to happen to him? What? A slap on the wrist? Charlotte Flair is set to take a leave of absence from WWE. Now, here's something that no one saw coming. That being Charlotte Flair set to take a leave of absence from wrestling. No one saw Charlotte leaving, but she's going to get surgery. She'll be back, but she'll be out until like 2021, I hear. Charlotte hasn't stepped away from the ring at all, so the fact that she's doing it now. Sarah Logan is stepping away. Next up, Sarah Logan is stepping away from the ring to pursue other stuff. Sarah Logan has retired from professional wrestling. Not even 10 years in the business, she's retired. Her husband is obviously Eric from the Viking Raiders. Or War Machine or War Raiders or whatever you want to call them. Viking Experience, no. Don't call them that. She's stepping away from the business to pursue other things. Yes. And then on to more accusations. Austin Theory was accused but proved innocent, but his nudes were leaked. Now, I say he's innocent. There is a lot of evidence to support otherwise, but I'm going to go with that's all fake because nothing's going to happen to Austin Theory unless unless WWE thinks he's run his course. Next up, Darby Allin accused in the Speaking Out movement. A lot of things have been accused in the Speaking Out movement. Now, Darby Allin wasn't accused of sexual harassment more than it was just abuse. Straight up abuse. That's what he was accused of. Now, another thing is that this Speaking Out movement doesn't just involve wrestlers. It can also involve companies. For sure, indie wrestling company Chikara shuts down after the Speaking Out allegations. Yes, the allegations can also affect the whole company as one, so much so that it can destroy a company and destroy a promotion, and then just is forced to shut down. Shikara is over. Shikara was a good promotion, and they had just had a video game released for them, and now they're done. Imagine that. WWE personnel, next up, stepping away from the accused and going to the tested positive. The people tested positive for the virus that's going on. Renee Young, Chris Pierce, Kayla Braxton tested positive a while ago, but she's back. Also, Jamie Noble has tested positive. The one that got me was Renee Young. Now, Jon Moxley is the AEW champion, right? Jon Moxley is AEW champion. Not only that, but he's married to Renee Young. So he keeps testing negative for it. So if he can keep testing negative, then he could come back for his Brian Cage match. But speaking of Renee Young, WWE Backstage is now officially canceled. It's not happening anymore. Meaning WWE is without CM Punk again. Because I don't know, because I heard some things that now that Fox owns rights to SmackDown, to air SmackDown, Fox had signed CM Punk, meaning Punk could come back to WWE at some time. Now we're going back to Impact Wrestling as Tessa Blanchard, their world champion, has been fired and stripped of the Impact Wrestling World Championship because she has been unable to work for the company because of the whole COVID. Not only that, but she lives in Mexico with Daga, who is her fiance, her husband. She lives with him. Not only that, but Tessa Blanchard is no longer, has been stripped of the title. But Vince McMahon is keen on signing Tessa, even though Tessa's father works for AEW. Meaning we don't know what could happen. We don't know where she could sign. She could sign with AEW and be a part and have the Blanchards back together, or she could be part of WWE, and then her and Charlotte could start up a 4 horsewomen. Next up, back in the accused section, Paige's mother and family have been accused of this whole speaking out movement thing. Have been accused of misconduct and shit. Sucks too. The fact the whole family can also be involved in this. Like, it's bad enough family. YouTubers are getting called out for it. Mini Lad, Cryotic, Louis Caliber, Shane Dawson has been a big part of this. Next up, we got the Velveteen Dream has been accused again and is in a car accident. Velveteen Dream's days in WWE might be over. Because he's been accused before about this stuff. We spoke about it. He's been accused before, and now he's being accused again. This time by other people, and he's still denying it. And he was released from the hospital not long ago. What's his status with the company at the moment? I'm gonna search him right now. Velveteen Dream. There we go. What's his status? WWE career may be over soon. Yes, it might actually be, sadly. We might lose some great talent within. We did lose some great talent from WWE. However, you can still search up their matches. But we might actually lose other talent. We might actually lose some other talent. And this time we might not know whatever they did ever again. For example, the last topic, Ligero and Travis Banks have been released by WWE amid allegations and profiles have been removed from WWE.com, same as Jack Gallagher. All these wrestlers are getting accused. A bunch of them get fired. A bunch of them just get suspended. A bunch of them get just a slap on the wrist. Some of them go to treatment and all this other shit. It really sucks. All right, that's all the topics I have. this week, any other wrestling news? I'm going to search it up right now. Wrestling news and rumors. Normally, I spend a lot more on topic when I have a guest, but I don't have a guest this time. The Hall of Fame ceremony is still possible for SummerSlam. Here's one. Impact Wrestling knew Tessa Blanchard was never going to appear on Slammiversary, but continued to advertise her. That's something. WWE isn't happy about Renee Young going public with her COVID diagnostics. Bret Hart launches Confessions with the Hitman web series. WWE interested in signing Tessa Blanchard. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows have been offered deals by Impact Wrestling. Baron Corbin is not happy with WWE storyline plans with Matt Riddle. And that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe. See you fellas next time.